Hello everybody, it's time for another Godzilla review, and today, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, we're talking about 1971's Godzilla vs. Hedorah, or as it's more commonly known, Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. When I decided to take the plunge and start watching and reviewing Godzilla movies a year ago, I knew there were going to be some doozies, like the last movie, and this one. I'd seen some images from this movie before, and yeah, it looked awful. Plus, some of you left me comments saying things like, "Oh, just wait till you get to Smog Monster." So, I've been bracing myself. But, plot twist, I actually found this extremely entertaining. I know, I can't believe it either. I'd been dreading what I expected would be a movie with a heavy-handed environmentalist message. It is there, and it is obvious. The movie's a protest against the harmful waste produced by industrialization, which is literally embodied in the movie by a monster born from the trash and pollution and smoke, who increases in size and starts destroying Japan and killing people with poisonous gas and toxic sludge. So yes, it's an environmentalist movie. But I must say, it's done in such a fun, wacky way that it gets its message across without sacrificing its entertainment value. If it had taken itself too seriously, it would have been preachy and obnoxious, and I wouldn't have liked it at all. But it doesn't really. It retains a sense of humor. Or at least, I think it does. I think it was intending to be funny. And oh my goodness, is it weird. Weirdest Godzilla movie I've seen yet. This one features the work of a new director, Yoshimitsu Banno, who also wrote the script, and honestly, bizarre as this movie is, it's quite creative and vastly different from its predecessors. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it was a refreshing change to see something so different. This movie's all over the place with its storytelling mediums and visual style. There are a few animated parts, a dream sequence, or a prophetic dream sequence, I guess. There's a hippie peace party on Mount Fuji that starts out in black and white and changes to color when things get wild. The opening credits have a James Bond feel with a close-up of the singer in front of a backdrop showing... what's that supposed to be? Blood? Cells? A lava lamp? I don't know. And let's talk about that smog monster, shall we? This thing is great. It looks like a lumpy pile of blackish-gray mashed potatoes that sparkle. Hedorah has a glittery look because he actually originated in a meteorite, so he's covered in mineral flecks, or something. I love it. It adds so much pizzazz. I love the wonky red eyes, too. Sinister, but comically uneven. I think this is possibly Toho's most disgusting kaiju. Sludge is always gross, but especially when it's being excreted, and he's just squirting and splatting and leaking everywhere. What I really like, though, is that he's got seemingly endless possibilities. He keeps evolving into more advanced forms, and he's got unpredictable special features, like the ability to shoot goo out of his arm, his shoulder, his armpit, I don't know, some random place on his body. So, sure, he looks ridiculous, but I suspect he might be one of Godzilla's most serious and challenging opponents. Did I really just say that? As for Godzilla, well, there's something kind of cute about him in this one, and he's got some human-like attributes that are kind of endearing. But why, oh why, is his entrance music so goofy? And then, yes, there's this, one of the most ridiculous moments you will ever see in a Godzilla movie. You know, this notorious moment gets a lot of hate, but how else was Godzilla gonna catch up to Hedorah in time? Hedorah flies pretty fast, especially in flying saucer mode, which is wonderful, and Godzilla isn't a runner. At best, he lumbers at a moderate pace. It does beg the question, though, if he's had the ability to fly using atomic breath propulsion all this time, why hasn't he ever done it before? I'd think it would have come in handy. Also, I'm just wondering here, if it had been an established thing in the first movie, would we all think it's as stupid and absurd as we think it is here in the 11th movie? Probably. It's pretty stupid. There are a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense, like who are these random older people spying on the hippie dance party from the bushes? How does Godzilla get out of this sludge puddle? Why is everyone at this nightclub suddenly wearing fish head masks? Is this guy tripping on acid? What's going on? Little did you know that this movie has two messages: don't pollute and don't do drugs. I'm not crazy about those nightclub scenes. They feel like they snuck in from another movie, and I never could figure out if this miserable-looking guy who may be having a drug-induced hallucination while his girlfriend dances and sings on a table in a skin-tight bodysuit is actually related to the little boy and his parents or not. The psychedelic dancing skeletons are amusing, though. Another strange, unexpected thing is that while the last movie, Godzilla's Revenge, was definitely marketed to a younger audience, this one is surprisingly dark and much more violent than previous films. We see some pretty disturbing images, including what happens to Hedorah's victims after he does a toxic flyover, and the monster fights are much more graphic than they have been. Godzilla's punches tear right into Hedorah's skin, ooh, and he pulls out his eyeballs, what? And at the end, Godzilla just starts pulling out sludgy guts and throwing them around, with musical accompaniment, of course. Godzilla really hates pollution. I imagine that Hiro Nakajima had a really good time playing Godzilla in this one. Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster is a crazy, ridiculous movie, very much a product of its time, and my mom and I had a wonderful time watching it and laughing over it. I wouldn't call it a great movie, but I can say with certainty that I enjoyed it more than Godzilla's Revenge, or Son of Godzilla, or maybe one or two other Godzilla movies. Can I say that? I'm really looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say about this one, so go ahead and share your comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!